Everything you always wanted to know about. Void judgments but were afraid to ask. Void judgments are those rendered by a court which lacked jurisdiction, either of the subject matter or the parties. Wall v. Round Valley Bank 38 Ares. 411, 300 p. 955 1931 Tube City Mining and Milling Company vs. Otterson, 16 Ares. 305, 146 p. 203 1914 and Milliken v. Meyer, 311 U.S. 457, 61 S. Court 339, 85 L. ed. 2d 278 1940. A void judgment which includes judgment entered by a court which lacks jurisdiction over the parties or the subject matter, or lacks inherent power to enter the particular judgment, or an order procured by fraud, can be attacked at any time, in any court, either directly or collaterally, provided that the party is properly before the court. Long v. Shorebank Development Corp. 182 F.3d 548 ca. 7 Ill. 1999. A void judgment is one which, from its inception, was a complete nullity and without legal effect. Lubin v. Selective Service System Local BD Number 27, 453 F.2d 645, 14 ALR. Fed. 298 ca. 1 Mass. 1972. A void judgment is one which from the beginning was complete nullity and without any legal effect. Hobbs v. U.S. Office of Personnel Management, 485 F. Sup. 456 M.D. Florida, 1980. Void judgment is one that, from its inception, is complete nullity and without legal effect. Holstein v. City of Chicago, 803 F. Sup. 205, reconsideration denied 149 FRD 147, affirmed 29 F.3d 1145 ND. Ill 1992. Void judgment is one where court lacked personal or subject matter jurisdiction or entry of order violated due process. USCA. Const. Amend. 5 Triad Energy Corp. v. McNeil 110 FRD. 382 SDNY. 1986. Judgment is a void judgment if court that rendered judgment lacked jurisdiction of the subject matter, or of the parties, or acted in a manner inconsistent with due process. Fed. Rule Civ. Proc. Rule 60b 428 USCA, USCA. Const. Amend. 5 Clue v. U.S. 620 F. Sup. 892 DSC. 1985. A void judgment is one which, from its inception, was a complete nullity and without legal effect. Rubin v. Johns, 109 FRD. 174 D. Virgin Islands 1985. A void judgment is one which, from its inception, is and forever continues to be absolutely null, without legal efficacy, ineffectual to bind the parties or to support a right, of no legal force and effect whatever, and incapable of. Void judgment details. What makes a judgment void? file://c:/ my web pages /main pages /detailsvoid.htm1 of 12 October 2013 12:23 a.m. Enforcement in any manner or to any degree. Lloyd v. Director, Department of Public Safety, 480 SA2D 577 ALA. Civ. App. 1985. A judgment shown by evidence to be invalid for want of jurisdiction is a void judgment or at all events has all attributes of a void judgment. City of Los Angeles v. Morgan, 234p.2d 319 Cal. App. 2 Dist. 1951. Void judgment which is subject to collateral attack, is simulated judgment devoid of any potency because of jurisdictional defects. Ward v. Terrier, 386p.2d 352 Colo 1963. A void judgment is a simulated judgment devoid of any potency because of jurisdictional defects only, in the court rendering it, and defect of jurisdiction may relate to a party or parties, the subject matter, the cause of action, the question to be determined, or relief to be granted. Davidson Chevrolet, Inc. v. City and County of Denver, 330 p.2d 1116, certiorari denied 79s Court 609, 359 U.S. 926, 3L ed 2d 629 Colo 1958. Void judgment is one entered by court without jurisdiction of parties or subject matter, or that lacks inherent power to make or enter particular order involved, and such a judgment may be attacked at any time, either directly or collaterally. People v. Wade, 506 NW 2D 954 IL. 1987. Void judgment may be defined as one in which rendering court lacked subject matter jurisdiction, lacked personal jurisdiction, or acted in manner inconsistent with due process of law. Eckel v. McNeil, 628 NE 2D 741 IL. App. Dist. 1993. Void judgment is one entered by court without jurisdiction of parties or subject matter, or that lacks inherent power to make or enter particular order involved. Such judgment may be attacked at any time, either directly or collaterally. People v. Sales, 551 NE 2D 1359 IL. App. 2 Dist. 1990. Res judicata consequences will not be applied to a void judgment which is one which, from its inception, is a complete nullity and without legal effect. Alcock v. Alcock, 437 NE 2D 392 IL. App. 3 Dist. 1982. Void judgment is one which, from its inception, is complete nullity and without legal effect. In Re Marriage of Parks, 630 NE 2D 509 IL. App. 5 Dist. 1994. Void judgment is one entered by court that lacks the inherent power to make or enter the particular order involved, and it may be attacked at any time, either directly or collaterally. Such a judgment would be a nullity. People v. Rolland, 581 NE 2D 907 IL. App. 4 Dist. 1991. Void judgment under federal law is one in which rendering court lacked subject. Void judgment details what makes a judgment void. file//c:/ my web pages /main pages /detailsvoid.htm2 of 12/4 October 2013 12:23 a.m. Matter jurisdiction over dispute or jurisdiction over parties, or acted in manner inconsistent with due process of law or otherwise acted unconstitutionally in entering judgment. USCA. Const. Amd. 5, Hayes vs. Louisiana Dock Company, 452 N. E.2D 1383 IL. App. 5 Dist. 1983. A void judgment has no effect whatsoever and is incapable of confirmation or ratification. Lucas v. Estate of Stavos, 609 N. E2D 1114, rehearing denied, and transfer denied. Eind. App. 1 Dist. 1993. Void judgment is one that from its inception is a complete nullity and without legal effect. Stidham v. Welchel, 698 NE 2D 1152 Eind. 1998. Relief from void judgment is available when trial court lacked either personal or subject matter jurisdiction. Dusenberry v. Dusenberry, 625 NE 2D 458 Eind. App. 1 Dist. 1993. Void judgment is one rendered by court which lacked personal or subject matter jurisdiction or acted in manner inconsistent with due process. USCA. Const. Amends. 5, 14 Matter of Marriage of Hampshire, 869 p.2d 58 Con. 1997. Judgment is void if court that rendered it lacked personal or subject matter jurisdiction. Void judgment is nullity and may be vacated at any time, Matter of Marriage of Welliver, 869 p.2d 653 Con. 1994. A void judgment is one rendered by a court which lacked personal or subject matter jurisdiction or acted in a manner inconsistent with due process. In Re Estate of Wells, 983 p.2d 279 Con. App. 1999. Void judgment is one rendered in absence of jurisdiction over subject matter or parties, 310 NW 2d 502, Min. 1981. A void judgment is one rendered in absence of jurisdiction over subject matter or parties, Lang v. Johnson, 204 NW 2d 205 Min. 1973. A void judgment is one which has merely semblance, without some essential element, as when court purporting to render has no jurisdiction, Mills v. Richardson, 81 SE 2d 409, NC. 1954. A void judgment is one which has a mere semblance, but is lacking in some of the essential elements which would authorize the court to proceed to judgment, Henderson v. Henderson, 59 SE 2d 227, NC. 1950. Void judgment is one entered by court without jurisdiction to enter such judgment, State v. Blankenship, 675 NE 2d 1303, Ohio App. 9 Dist. 1996. Void judgment details. What makes a judgment void? file://c:// my web pages /main pages /detailsvoid.htm3 of 12 October 2013 12:23 a.m. Void judgment, such as may be vacated at any time, is one whose invalidity appears on face of judgment roll, Graf v. Kelly, 814 p.2d 489 Okel. 1991. A void judgment is one that is void on face of judgment roll, Capital Federal Savings Bank v. Bewley, 795 p.2d 1051 Okel. 1990. Where condition of bail bond was that defendant would appear at present term of court, judgment forfeiting bond for defendant's bail to appear at subsequent term was a void judgment within rule that latches does not run against a void judgment, Com. v. Miller, 158.2d 585 Pa Super. 1959. A void judgment is one in which the judgment is facially invalid because the court lacked jurisdiction or authority to render the judgment, State v. Ritchie, 20 SW 3d 624 10. 2000. Void judgment is one which shows upon face of record want of jurisdiction in court assuming to render judgment, and want of jurisdiction may be either of person, subject matter generally, particular question to be decided or relief assumed to be given, State ex rel. Dawson v. Bomar, 354 SW 2d 763, certiorari denied, 10. 1962. A void judgment is one which shows upon face of record a want of jurisdiction in court assuming to render the judgment, Underwood v. Brown, 244 SW 2d 168 10. 1951. A void judgment is one which shows on face of record the want of jurisdiction in court assuming to render judgment, which want of jurisdiction may be either of the person, or of the subject matter generally, or of the particular question attempted to decide it or relief assumed to be given, Richardson v. Mitchell, 237 SW 2d 577, 10, Court App. 1950. Void judgment is one which has no legal force or effect whatever, it is an absolute nullity, its invalidity may be asserted by any person whose rights are affected at any time and at any place, and it need not be attacked directly but may be attacked collaterally whenever and wherever it is interposed, City of Lufkin v. McVicker, 510 SW 2d 141, Tex. Civ. App. Beaumont 1973. A void judgment, insofar as it purports to be pronouncement of court, is an absolute nullity, Thompson v. Thompson, 238 SW 2d 218, Tex. Civ. App. Waco 1951. A void judgment is one that has been procured by extrinsic or collateral fraud, or entered by court that did to have jurisdiction over subject matter or the parties. Rook v. Rook, 353 SE 2D 756, VA 1987. Void judgment details. What makes a judgment void? file://c:// my web pages /main pages /detailsvoid.htm4 of 12 October 2013 12:23 a.m. A void judgment is a judgment, decree, or order entered by a court which lacks jurisdiction of the parties or of the subject matter, or which lacks the inherent power to make or enter the particular order involved. State ex rel. Turner v. Briggs, 971 p.2d 581 Wash. App. Div. 1999. A void judgment or order is one that is entered by a court lacking jurisdiction over the parties or the subject matter, or lacking the inherent power to enter the particular order or judgment, or where the order was procured by fraud. In re adoption of EL. 733 NE 2D 846, IL. App. 1 Dist. 2000. Void judgments are those rendered by court which lack jurisdiction, either of subject matter or parties. Cockerham v. Zickrach, 619 p.2d 739 Aries. 1980. Void judgments generally fall into two classifications, that is, judgments where there is want of jurisdiction of person or subject matter, and judgments procured through fraud, and such judgments may be attacked directly or collaterally. Irving v. Rodriguez, 169 NE 2D 145, IL.app. 2 Dist. 1960. Invalidity need to appear on face of judgment alone. That judgment or order may be said to be intrinsically void or void on its face, if lack of jurisdiction appears from the record. Crockett Oil Co. v. Fe, 374 SW 2D 154 Moap. 1964. Decision is void on the face of the judgment roll when from four corners of that roll, it may be determined that at least one of three elements of jurisdiction was absent. 1. Jurisdiction over parties, 2. Jurisdiction over subject matter, or 3. Jurisdictional power to pronounce particular judgment was rendered. B&C Investments, Inc. v. F&M Nat. Bank and Trust, 903 p.2d 339 Okla. App. Div. 3, 1995. Void order may be attacked, either directly or collaterally, at any time. In re Estate of Steinfeld, 630 NE 2D 801, certiorari denied. See also Steinfeld v. Hoddick, 513 U.S. 809, IL. 1994. Void order which is one entered by court which lacks jurisdiction over parties or subject matter, or lacks inherent power to enter judgment, or order procured by fraud, can be attacked at any time, in any court, either directly or collaterally, provided that party is properly before court. People ex rel. Bricka vs. Village of Lake Barrington, 644 NE 2D 66 IL. App. 2 Dist. 1994. While voidable orders are readily appealable and must be attacked directly, void order may be circumvented by collateral attack or remedied by mandamus. Sanchez v. Hester, 911 SW 2D 173, Tex. App. Corpus Christi 1995. Arizona courts give great weight to federal courts' interpretations of Federal Rule of Civil Procedure governing motion for relief from judgment in void judgment details. What makes a judgment void? file://c:/ my web pages /main pages /detailsvoid.htm5 of 12 October 2013 12:23 a.m.